family were together one night when they noticed something terrifying by their window. A girl named Toya uploaded a haunting video taken with her family who lives in the reservation. It's late at night when the family noticed something outside their window. As Toya decides to record to see what's out there, she makes a horrifying discovery. Hiding in the dark, the head of what seems like a human can be seen watching them with animal-like eyes from one of the bushes. The family remains inside as Toya explains in the video. This isn't their first time seeing this thing. The creature she could be referring to is the Skinwalker, a native folklore entity said to mimic voices and is able to transform into animals in order to lure its victims. Skinwalker, or whatever this is, it's best to not even go outside and leave it be, like the family does.
Nurse, and one night a patient suddenly died. They prepared the woman's body for her family to come and visit one last time, and for the mortuary to come and take her away afterwards. The hall was mostly empty and there was nobody anywhere near her room. It was in the middle of the night, so no TVs would turn on, when all of a sudden, the now deceased woman's call light turns on out of nowhere. The rehab nurse heads down there to turn it off. A few moments later, they turn on again. This time the nurse answers it on the phone so it turns off without having to go back down there. And that's when the speaker turns on and something creepy is heard. Listen closely. A disembodied voice can be heard talking, although it's hard to make out what is being said. Many people in the comments say they hear the words birthday and daughter died, and they believe this is the spirit of the patient still reliving a scene from its former life, not knowing that it has already passed.
A small figure about the height of a toddler can be seen running off into the shadows, but another small figure can be spotted just outside the gate. Whatever it is seems to throw some kind of dust or sand over the fence at the confused and horrified woman. Now, it's unknown what is thrown, and without a source, it's impossible to know just what the hell is going on here. But viewers of the video believe that the woman had an encounter with some kind of small creatures, or possibly even spirits. But what do you think? Let me know.
Now the following video comes from Isabel Riley, who no doubt believes that she may have evidence of something that can't be explained. The video she's made shows this evidence, which was captured by her boss, who later shared it with her. According to her boss, he was at a restaurant in New Orleans known as Antoine's. Now at this restaurant, there's a huge wine cellar with hundreds, if not thousands of wine bottles worth millions. So, out of curiosity, he checks it out. But if only he knew what was down there, he wouldn't have gone. While being in the cellar, he snaps a couple of photos, some of which show the owner of the restaurant who is giving him a tour. In one photo, we see the restaurant owner on his laptop, who apparently was placing bids for more wines during an online auction. The boss takes a few more photos and then leaves the restaurant before calling it a day. The next morning, he's on his phone looking at his camera roll when he notices something odd in one of the pictures that he took. Isabel presents those images. Take a look.
So this is the first picture that he showed me from the wine cellar. You can see this guy who is on his laptop at auction doing whatever. And here is the next picture that he took. So we all see that. That is a full body apparition. It looks like a woman in this like black Victorian dress. And when I was showed this, I genuinely had full body chills. This is insane. I've never seen anything like this, and I need to not be alone in seeing this because holy.
Unlike anything Isabel has ever seen, A seemingly full-bodied apparition appears clear as day in the pic. A cursed image is what some believe this might be. Others, however, have no idea what was captured. If only 2 people had been in the cellar, then who was the third person? And why do they appear to be dressed in clothes that seem to have come from the 1800s? They, or it, were nowhere in sight when the photo was taken. It's for this reason that Isabel's boss is certain that something ghostly was caught. Whether a ghost or something else, viewers can't help but feel immensely uneasy when looking at this pic. They don't know why, but something about it disturbs them. While Isabel has yet to figure out what was captured, viewers are certain that this was paranormal. But as always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
Udah gua record.
The hammock in their backyard flips over as what looks to be an eerie smoke-like figure seems to fly right through it. Now, normally I would try to take a closer look at this and find some simple explanation for a capture like this. Smoke, mist, a bug on the lens, and so on. But this strange figure seems to hold its shape and appears to have a face, torso, and 2 outstretched arms as it floats along and out of sight. Even creepier, it then seems to return and can be seen moving in the other direction further down in the backyard. Now, if it was the wind and just smoke or mist, then surely it would have changed form as it moved or dissipated completely. And also the hammock moving as the figure passes through it is just weird. So is it real, or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. As Kent is about to step inside the upstairs bedroom, a dark figure leaps out toward him, and then the bedroom door just slams shut on its own. Kent believes that it was his wife who slammed the door, possibly because she was getting dressed and didn't want to be on camera. He goes back downstairs where his grandson tells him that his wife isn't in that bedroom at all, but in a completely different room.
No, I thought that was you up in the bedroom. Sorry.
Kent confirms that his wife isn't in the bedroom, and then he goes back upstairs to find an explanation for the door slamming in his face. Did you see it? What appears to be the same dark shadow figure can be seen inside the bedroom as Kent pans around the room. But when Kent flips the light on, there's nobody there. So did Kent capture even more paranormal evidence in his home? I leave that up to you to decide.
Is that like, y'all, I'm not tripping. That's somebody in that room and they just sitting there. What the is that? Like, they just sitting there. Bro, I'm about to call because I'm like, and I just call her and say, hey, you sure I'm the only one here? She's like, yeah, look at the cameras. You're the only one there. I'm seeing my cars there. And I said, someone is in one of the booths. And she was like, in the booths? I was like, yeah, someone is in one of the booths. What the this door. But you know I'm black, right? And I don't play that shit. Alright, I'm gonna tough it up and just open the door. Okay. Nope. 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 Hell no, cuz, nope.
Night, somewhere in Florida, two friends decide to record themselves at a slumber party when something pretty creepy is captured. Both friends hadn't noticed anything peculiar in the video until one of their moms had seen the footage.
This is my daughter and her friend. Please watch closely between them. No one else was up in my home.
Heather, the mother in question, is baffled by this footage, given that it took place inside her home, where other strange things have happened before. Occasionally, she would catch her dog looking at something that doesn't appear to be there, and other times, she would see her cat staring at a space that's completely empty. Now, although she thinks there might be an explanation for both common occurrences, she can't say the same for the following incident. This footage is unlike anything she's ever seen. It's late at night when this is captured.
This is my daughter and her friend. Please watch closely between them. No one else was up in my home. Look between them right now.
What was meant to be a fun little video has turned into a scene out of a horror movie. Without realizing it, both friends had caught something moving in the background. It appears briefly for just a split second before exiting from view. Whether a person or something else, no one had noticed it until the video was sent to Isabel's mother. It was shortly thereafter that both girls became aware of this mysterious figure. While it is uncertain as to what was captured, they can't help but think that something otherworldly was present during that night. This one continues to remain a mystery.
Is at home with his friend just hanging out when something terrifying happened. The two guys can be seen creeping around the house searching the rooms, and for very good reason. Not long ago they heard loud bangs and crashing sounds coming from multiple rooms around the house. Not sure what the cause is, they decide to investigate the house and proceed with caution in case of any intruders. This is what they captured.
Hey, my floor. Your whole room. I didn't hear anything. Every time I start recording, it stops. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Is that your room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're up there.
They open the door to the room and find everything to be a mess, and as they track the sound to the next room, they find no sign of anybody there. Now this sort of thing has happened a few times in the past, which explains their lack of shock. He also says that every time he starts recording, the activity stops. But luckily, they had a camera set up in the bedroom which managed to capture what happened in the room. Watch closely. A plate just mysteriously throws itself off the bedside table in a completely empty room. Now, a few weeks prior to this, the camera on the nightstand was placed differently, and one night when nobody was home, the camera records this. Oddly enough, the plate seems to slide upwards at a strange angle and remain there for a few seconds before moving again and then falling off. To this day, the guys have no idea what's going on inside this house, but hopefully we get some updates soon.